So right now I'll be doing a review of the episode The Bear and the Fair Maiden from the television show Game of Thrones. If you're not watching Game of Thrones by now, I don't know where you've been the past few years, but honestly, you've been missing out, and that is your own fault. So watch Game of Thrones right now, whoever you are not watching it, because it's Game of Thrones. Now, if you don't have HBO, I'm so sorry for you, because that is a tragedy. And yes, HBO is expensive, but Game of Thrones is awesome. Now let's get to the review. So, first thing I liked in this episode is that Jaime Lannister finally has a friend. I know, right? He has a friend, like an actual friend. Who would have guessed he would have gotten a friend? I mean, this is a person that threw a child off of a tower. And it's not like a creepy friend, it's a cool friend. Maybe he'll get away from his creepy sister for a little while, because that whole relationship, gave us Joffrey, which, any relationship that gives you Joffrey, come on! Now, let's get to other things I liked about this episode. I like the character of Arya. I like her speaking her mind. She's like, you should not have done that. And the people are just like, you don't understand. She's like, no, you don't understand. So I'm a huge fan of Arya. Other things I liked in this episode. The dragons. Who doesn't like dragons? I mean, they're getting big. And all I've got to say is, I don't know what these people in King's Landing are thinking, but there are dragons coming. And they're like White Walkers / zombies coming after you. Let's try to focus on these things instead of fighting over this, oh, I want this, I want to be king. No, I want to be the king. There are White Walkers, which I think of as zombies, coming for you. Come on. That's all I've got to say on that. Other things that I liked in this episode. I think it's nice that Rob's having a baby. I'm not going to give you spoilers on anything that's going to happen, but let's just say I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. Now, there are some things I didn't like in this episode, which is surprising because it's Game of Thrones. One thing I did not like that much was, Jon Snow not realizing, how is this really going to affect my relationship with this girl? He needs to get on that, thinking about, oh, I'm going to betray this group. How is this going to affect this girl that really likes me? You need to start thinking about that, Jon Snow. Come on. Other things I liked in this episode? Well, it's Game of Thrones, so about everything else I liked. I liked Joffrey being afraid of the dragons, showing just how much of a coward he is. The thing I found funny is Sansa complaining to Marjorie about who she has to marry. Come on, Sansa. She has to marry Joffrey. And by the way, you liking Loras is also hilarious, because we all know how Loras feels about these things. Let's be honest. Now, like I said, I'm always excited for Game of Thrones next week, so I watch Game of Thrones, don't watch Game of Thrones. If you don't watch it, I'm sorry for you.